Action.
Welcome back to News Insights. I am your host, Victory, and I have Pastor Kingsley with me and Honorable Airline. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Today we're talking about the flight. We're talking about flights. This is something everybody can relate to. Senate summoned Keyamo over flight delays and others. Pastor Kingsley, can you shed more light on this?
Well, I don't know why they are summoning Keyamo. There are a lot of agencies that work at the airport. So, Keyamo is just an administrative head of Nigerian aviation sector, as well the Minister of Aviation. But there are other stronger bodies that work at the airport, like the NCAA. All of them. They work there. They know what flights are delayed and all that. So I think they would have summoned those head of those security departments, all those departments that are very independent in their operations than summoning Keyamo. And that's what I think they should have done also. Then also the airline operators, because I actually know that there are arbitral delays, especially when the airline people know that maybe they have only one aircraft or two, and they've booked it all over. I've arrived Lagos before 1 a.m. in the morning. A flight that was supposed to be 7 p.m. 1 a.m. we arrived Lagos. Was 7 p.m. maybe 3 p.m. Kept on delay. And one of the most ugly incident is the fact that nobody will tell you what's happening.
That's just the problem.
That's the major problem, because there can be a lot of technical issues why the aircraft is not flying at that particular time. Whether, for example, technical problem with the aircraft.
And no information will be relayed to the
No
passenger.
information will be relayed. They will just leave you, loafing and all that.
Honorable Eli, what do you think about this?
Yeah, just like he said, to buttress his topic, the points a little, safety first, right? If the airline operators find out that maybe the weather or on technical ground, the safety cannot be guaranteed, there's nothing wrong in delaying flight. But my problem with Nigeria airline companies and operators is this. They don't even care. They don't take their time to explain. And at the period of time that there's a delay, there should be a way of, making the passengers a little bit comfortable and, taking their time, PR, explaining to them, giving them little refreshment, making them to understand why this thing are being, is on board. And then if you explain to me that I'm supposed to board by maybe 11 o'clock, but you cannot guarantee my safety or safe arrival to my destination, and you explain to me and you give me reasons why you carry me along,
yes.
Why I should have to, for my own safety.
I would gladly stay back.
I'll be happy.
Yes.
Because nobody wants to die.
That's
so
true.
if they are summoning Keyamo, maybe to so that he can also go back, because of course he's the Minister of Aviation, and he should be able to have a way of waking them up to their responsibilities. You understand? So that, because you can't pay for a particular flight and then it's being delayed or cancelled without proper explanation.
And no
it's
compensation.
Annoying. In terms of compensation, if it has to be on technical ground or weather, okay, fine. Compensation may not come up. It's not just within Nigeria sector, aviation sector alone. But like I mentioned, if my flight is being delayed and then there's a need for me to leave the airport and come back or to wait, I should be comfortable.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable. Pastor Kingsley, besides delaying of flights and cancellation of flights, they also have the issue of losing passengers' luggages, and it's one of the key issues. Can you shed more light on this?
Okay, so luggage being lost, or there are what is confined in the law to how it should be addressed in a particular way. What the passenger can claim for, what they cannot claim for. Do you understand? So all those they are not within. You can go to court and settle that in court. That nobody has to. Is the handling. Who is it done by? Because sometimes it's not the airline staff that does handling of baggages and all that. But all those ones are spelled out in the charter that, or the what puts them up and all that. What Nigeria needs to do, they need to know what their right is and what they can get. It's just like, I hope one day we'll be able to talk about power. And Naik because NEPA man just comes to your
But the
house.
problem now is that the losing of luggage is now like a very rampant thing. Like it happens more often than it should.
All over the world, that's what it does.
Well, all over the
Because
world.
if you see some airline hubs that are busy, come on, there's no airport in Nigeria that are like busy. Go to Frankfurt.
So you're
go
trying to say that there's no way they can curtail it.
They can, of course. You know, most of all those ones. I heard Keyamo speak the other day that they are putting a lot of cameras at the airport. Do you understand? To check all these things. Do you understand? Piffering, luggages being stolen, and all that.
Yes.
You know, I think they are improving on those ones.
I wanted to say something.
The way he said, you see, on that issue of security, if I come into the airport with a bag, I should expect to get it at the arrival the other side because I paid for these things. So you see, and you mentioned something, the volume of people that use our airport can't be compared to these other developed countries. So we should be able to at least work on securing passengers and luggage rather than say it's a thing that happens all over the world.
Yes.
We can make a change.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. You know, the airport is a different ballgame altogether. A lot of unwholesome activity happen at the airport. For example, in Nigeria, if you are traveling internationally, they will tell you, let me check your bag, NDLA is there. You know, I saw Keyamo talk about it the other day. NDLA is there, immigration is there, DSS is there. They are checking from one place to the other. But if you really are traveling abroad to another country, there's nothing like that. Then when you are coming out of the airport, coming into the country, you see Nigerian, NDLA has one, this thing, immigration is telling you to pay. I've never traveled to another country before. They are telling me pay. They will just tell me that either this is contraband or something, you know, and all that. They are telling me to pay. They have their officers there. I'm paying. I can't because I brought in one printer one day, you know, very small printer, and they said that there's charges on it, 5,000. They will do me receipt. Custom duty, you know, importing. Those are not the things they should concentrate on.
Let's just go back a bit to the flight delays and cancellations. So it was brought up, a point was brought up that most times that these airlines, they get away with things like this because the passengers don't even know their rights. So what can be done to educate passengers on their rights when it comes to flying?
You can do your personal check-ins now. You should, as a passenger, you should do your personal check-in because the truth is, why it's like that?
But some people don't even know that they have to check for these things.
Well, so let it like.
Some of it is also the control that comes from the agencies. That I don't know which particularly they call the law of agencies at the airport. If what's it called, an airline has 2 aircraft or one, let's even say one, and it lists a lot of flight stuff all around the country, we should know their capacity of what they can do and what they cannot do.
So under that condition,
they already have an intention to defraud.
That is just what their interest is. What they collect.
What they collect, and they don't get it back.
If you take my money, I book you know, to fly with you, and I come to understand that you don't even have the plane, but you are not ready to let go of my money. You think you can deliberately delay me until your plane go to one point and come back while I'm waiting. It's on that technical. If I have that fact, I remember listening to Ahmed Issa at a particular time, Brekete family, and they you know, we have Bureau for Public Enterprise, we have agencies,
Consumer Protection Agency.
Yes, if you have this fact and you report these people, they pay you. They penalize them.
They don't want to be dragged in the mud.
You just have the fact that on this particular day, maybe an aircraft is supposed to carry maybe 150 people, and they go to collect money from like 250 people to use brain to begin to push you here and there. No, if that delay is on those grounds and you have the fact, report to the appropriate authority. I think they'll work on it.
They'll work on it.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Thank you very much, Honorable Eli. Pastor Kingsley, you wanted to shed more light to the misplacing of luggages.
Yes, I said what a lot of people don't know. They need to know the law that protects them. And I wanted to mention Nike that controls the discourse. Now, there are things on there. For example, a NEPA man should not just come to your house and cut your lights. In whatever circumstances, there must be warning and warning and warning. The first time, the second time, the third time. And they can't just also come and arbitrarily increase your NEPA bill if you don't have a meter. Until they provide you with a meter, you must stay on your last billing record. But a lot of Nigerians don't know this. They don't know this. So the same thing.
So this will rely on the ignorance of Nigerians.
Ignorance of the people. We're not a well-educated people. Do you understand? We're not patient to follow it through. The same thing. So the law that governs the airline industry, we should also look at it. That's why he's saying that if they report it to Consumer Protection Agency, most of them they pay. But that's a long process, and you have spent more money. Do you understand? But Nigerians don't need to be. They need to rise up and find out what is within the confines of the law that protects them.
There's something I'm trying to find out. And I said that you end up spending more money when you try to go after your right.
If you move away from fighting for your right because of the time and resources you put into it, the people abusing your right will keep abusing it. That is the problem with this country.
So
but the economy is hard.
Well, you face more loss in the long run.
When they come to understand that Nigerians are no longer going to be taking things the way
for granted,
everybody will sit up. And it will be we must make sacrifice. That is the analysis. We must make sacrifice.
So what you're trying to say is that people should make sacrifice when it comes to this.
But there must also be an education from either NOA or the airport, some of the agencies at the airport, on what their rights and privileges are, and also what their own obligations are. Most of the time, they tell us our obligation.
They won't say it so that
they're not doing their job well. That's what it means. That's what it means, and it's not within the purview of the minister to know most of these things. You see, the ministry is just a body that tries to control as much as they can. But these agencies that work at the airport, they need to educate the people about so many of these things. That's the truth. For example, I remember when Virgin Nigeria came into Nigeria at that time. 30 minutes before boarding, they've closed their counter. 30 minutes. Not this one that the aircraft is almost... wait. 1 man is coming. Every Nigerian shipped up at that time. They will get to the airport 30 minutes before time, and they don't leave the airport. And if they close their
in excess, once it's stopped there, every citizen will have to adhere to everything.
Exactly.
Everybody will.
Most of our guys that when they enter, they get to the airport. Maybe their flight is 7 p.m. in the night. By 2 o'clock, they're at the airport. They do their check-in. They sit down, relax, and all that. But here. Wait. So that's why I say they are rights and they are also obligations.
Yes,
and these things must be according to the law. Until these things are done.
Thank you very much, Honorable Eli. Thank you very much, Pastor Kingsley.
Thank you.
This was a very insightful session. I am still your host, Victory. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.